Hello lovely people, my name is Layla. Welcome to my channel where I share self-help content and my life here in Seoul, South Korea. In today's video, I will help you answer the crucial question, is it worth coming to Korea and study Korean during the pandemic? My answer to you, I'm sorry, is not going to be a firm yes or a no. I will let you be the judge of that based on your goals and your circumstances. What I will do, however, is share with you my ongoing experience at Sogang University, the many disappointments I encountered, and how I learned to get past them. So let's get started with Sogang University. I will not speak for other schools because I do not have first-hand experience on how they're handling the pandemic. It is important to note that prior to moving to Korea, which I did back in August 2020, I had never taken any formal Korean classes. Sogang was my first experience. It is also important to note that ever since I have arrived, I have never set foot in a classroom. Everything has been done online through Zoom. To be fair, they do warn you from the get-go. They tell you that there is a high possibility of all the classes being online throughout the trimester. However, they do not offer any discount at all. So the first question I think that you need to ask yourself is it worth paying 1,790,000 Korean won just to come here in Korea, sit in your room all day, unable to enjoy a full classroom experience? I personally did not think much about it. I was excited to be in Seoul. That was back in August 2020. Everything did not really matter to me. And also I was very naive, thinking that the entire situation would get better instead of worse. So before we talk about the disappointments that ensued, let's talk about how enjoyable my first semester was. So number one, I had an amazing teacher. She was nice, enthusiastic, encouraging, and bubbly. The kind of personality that translates very well when you do online classes. Number two, my classmates were motivated people. They showed up every day. They showed up on time, willing to participate, help one another. We were pretty much within the same age range, sharing the same purpose as to why we were learning Korean. We had our own Kakao Talk group. Therefore, we were able to talk all the time and hang out outside of class. So that was very helpful to me. Number three, the lessons were conducted at a very good pace. We had time to participate in class. We also had time to practice during class. Now, what I did not expect was how disappointing things were about to be for me. Then comes winter break, and I think, yes, 2 weeks. I will travel around a bit. I will relax, have a good time, meet with my friend, and then bam. New infections, things go out of control, restrictions are in place, nowhere to go, not much to do, the weather gets crazy cold. I mean, minus 20 degrees Celsius, like where do they do that at? At this point, I'm exasperated. Then the second trimester begins. The teacher, I mean, bless her heart. She's very professional, she's very competent. However, she's quite stern, and when you're learning online, you need someone with that extra spark that can hold your attention, make things fun for you, but that's not the case with her. I understand that people are different. My current teacher, she is a reserved type of person, and so am I. Therefore, I get it. It is what it is. Now, number two, let's talk about the second issue that I currently have. The pace of the class is very fast, and that's okay. The problem is, it is so fast that we can barely ask any question or have the teacher linger on a topic. When we try to do that, she's almost like rushing things and saying that we don't have enough time. And then the second teacher, because we do have two teachers, the second teacher, she talks very fast. When she asks you a question, she doesn't give you the time to respond. She just put the response on the board and asks you to read it. And I'm like, well, you're not giving me time to think or reflect. So what's the point of asking me a question if you're gonna put the answer there, right? Okay, number three. Don't get me started with the fact that during 4 hours of classes, we get one-on-one conversation session with other classmates for no more than 20 minutes on a lucky day. So much for Sogang being the place where speaking is important. The truth is, we don't even have time to practice. So whatever it is that we're learning, if we don't practice outside of class, there's no point to it. Number four, classmates. It's different now. It is very different because we are very different from all walks of life with nothing in common. We don't even have like a personal dedicated Kakao Talk group, so that just tells you how things are. And we definitely do not hang out outside of class. Now, I am very lucky that during my first trimester here, I made friends that I still see to this day. Things are going pretty well in terms of my grades and how I'm keeping up with the class, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. To be honest with you, if I had started my Sogang experience with level 3 and the way things are right now, I don't think I would have liked it. But because I enjoyed level 2 so much, I am now able to contrast the two and be okay with the situation somehow. If you can benefit from more time in your home country, more time to save money, more time to prepare yourself mentally for this Korean journey, I would say take your time. You are not missing out on anything at all. Korea would be here today, it would be here tomorrow. If anything, after the vaccine is implemented everywhere, things are gonna go back to normal and life here will be way more pleasant and enjoyable. With face-to-face classes and the ability to mingle with your classmates, you will improve your skills faster. If you can benefit from more time, take your time, okay? If on the other end, you are ready with all your ducks in a row, if staying in your home country won't add anything to your preparation, I would say just come. The restriction levels here, they go up and they go down depending on the situation. It's very hard to predict, but you can still manage to have a life, but beware of the inevitable disappointments, which we will talk about right now. I'm hoping that by sharing this with you, that's gonna empower you when you get here. So in December, I looked back at those 4 months spent learning Korean, and my level was not where I envisioned it to be. And I gave myself such a hard time about it. I started blaming the pandemic for everything. I could have visited Busan and Jeonju like I wanted. I could have socialized more and met way more people. I could have had countless opportunities to practice my Korean. And let me not even get started on the job market here in Korea and how working for a Korean company is no longer appealing to me. So with all those thoughts going through my mind, I lost purpose. Therefore, the drive and the discipline plummeted. I got into this rabbit hole. I was over the whole experience and I found myself daydreaming about cutting this Korean experience short and moving back to my home country. If you had told me that all it took for me to think about giving up would have been what I just mentioned, I never would have believed you. And that is the power of your mind and the power of the environment you surround yourself with. Your mind will literally play tricks on you if you feed it with negativity. If you throw yourself a pity party, guess who will attend? Discouragement, apathy, loneliness, fear, anger, etc. I rely too much on the idea that my circumstances were dictated by outside forces, and because there was nothing that I could do, this particular week in December was very tough for me. And it also happened to be my birthday week. And on my birthday, I do this whole ritual where I do an assessment of my year. And let's just say, yeah, it was it was revealing and it was tough, but I am in a way better place, and we are in almost like end of January right now of 2021. So here is how I got out of my slump, and I hope that those tips will help you in your current situation, whatever it is that you are going through. So number one is you have to acknowledge your feelings. You are not a computer. You cannot be pleased at all time. You have to recognize when something is wrong, and you have to sit in your discomfort at least for a short while so that you can release whatever it is that you're holding on, because pretending and bottling your feelings will sicken you at some point. Number two is I remembered my why, and my why was very simple from the get-go. I fell in love with a language back in 2006, sorry. And I fell in love with Seoul in 2015. That's why I'm here. It's very simple. So this is my why. My number three is I changed my purpose. And this was very key for me. I came to Korea with this grand master plan with deadlines, because I'm that type of person. I need to be goal-oriented in order to wake up in the morning. So when I came to Korea, I had this grand master plan with all those deadlines. And because nothing was going according to my plans, I freaked out. I had to reevaluate things. And that is okay. It is okay not to want the things that you thought you wanted 6 months ago or a year ago. It is okay to pivot if you realize that a new direction is better compared to the one you are currently on. Don't hold on to things that are no longer serving you. And for me, that felt so liberating. The new purpose and the new goals that I have for 2021 have nothing to do with what I had in mind prior to coming to Korea. And I like it because those 2021, goals and the new purpose that I have is more aligned with my value. It's more aligned with what I have in my heart, and it is way more aligned with who I am today. Because you usually base your goals off of who you are as a person the day you're making those goals, but you also change, right? You evolve and you want different things. So it's okay to change. So that was for me a big takeaway. Number 4 is I took responsibility and revamped the way I'm learning Korean. Because I can complain all I want, but the truth is I did not have a very good system, or at least I noticed that there were things that I could definitely improve. So it's easy to blame the teacher, to blame the class structure, to blame this and that. But if I'm honest with myself, I wasn't giving it my all. Again, because I was in a state of mind where I just didn't give a ish. So the joy of learning Korean has been back for the past 2 weeks or so, and I'm giving myself grace as well, because great things take time. I did not speak English well and confidently when I first arrived in America. It took me about a year, even more. So why do I expect things to just go super fast with Korean when it's not something I've learned all my life? It has been, what, a year or so? So chill, Layla. Seriously, chill. Last but not least, I spoke with people who understood my situation, uplifted me, and inspired me to put things in perspective. I have friends here in Korea as well, trying to make things happen for themselves, and witnessing that has allowed me some perspective, because everybody is going through their own hardship and challenges, and seeing them overcoming that or trying to find ways to do it is also very motivating for me. Alright, so there you have it. I hope these tips will help you somehow with what you're currently dealing with. My conclusion would be this: no matter what, being here in Korea, experiencing Seoul is so worth it, that no matter what's going on, as long as you have the proper mindset, you will be able to overcome everything that comes in your way. It is a dream come true for me, and I am always appreciative that I've been able to make it. It's scary to not be able to see what's going to come ahead of me, but at least I'm here and I'm excited, and I'm gonna try my best to just make the best out of the situation. Alright guys, thank you very much for listening, and I will talk to you in the next video.